Hi, my name is Katia Chernopolska. I'm the District 11 State Representative, and I will be hosting tonight's Hangout. Tonight's Hangout will be about state prep for the state conference, which is closely arriving. Tonight's panel, we've got three guests. First off, we've got Kirsten Rhodes, who is the Greater Altoona CTC DECA President. Next, we've got Riley Collins, the District 2 representative from Freedom High School. And finally, we've got Tara Nath, the North Atlantic Region Vice President. To start, we're going to have Kristen Rhodes talk to you about what you should be doing to prepare for states.
So,
Kristen?
for competition prep, I know I always make sure that I study our role plays because I do marketing management. So I make sure to read up on everything online about marketing, like the National Retail Federation, especially the statistics about Black Friday shopping and the test, which is obviously really important. Make sure I get those high scores. I also have the DECA flashcards, and I'm constantly studying those. I want to read up on the vocabulary because you want to make sure you sound professional and you're ready to go whenever you're doing your role plays. I practice my presentations and speaking in the mirror. I do a lot of public speaking really often at the GACTC. I also help out at my high school. So anytime I have a speech and I'm preparing for it, I always make sure I speak in the mirror to make sure I sound professional, I'm ready to go, and I just sound good. I also really stress that you practice the performance indicators only because they are a really big and important thing on your role plays, and they can cost you a lot of points if you don't study those. And a friend of mine are actually constantly practicing our role plays and our presentations, and we're judging each other to see if there's anything we have to improve on or if we're doing all right. That's all I have for you.
Great. Thank you so much, Kirsten. Does anyone have anything else to add about what you should be doing before states?
What you should be doing before states is make sure you have everything that you need to take with you. You want to make sure that your DECA blazer, or if you just have a regular blazer, is clean, it's ready to go. You have your shoes, your professional dress and clothes, any study materials that you want to study before your competition, and just to make sure that you're ready to have fun.
Great. Thank you so much, Kirsten. Now on to Riley Collins, who will be talking to you about what you should be doing at states to make sure you're ready for your competition.
All right, my first tip may seem really silly at first, but it actually helps a lot. So my first tip is look your best. If the better you feel you look, the more confident you're going to be, which will help on tests as well as role plays or presentations. And I know it seems like something really simple, which is why it's so great, but that honestly helps a ton. And your judges will notice your increase in confidence, and they're going to buy into what you're talking about a little bit more, if that's the case. On top of that, be punctual. More than just so that you're there on time for when you start your events, but if you're rushing around at the last minute, you're just going to end up flustering yourself, and then you're not going to go into your role play or your test or your presentation in a very good frame of mind, because you're still going to be stressed out from just barely making it, and that's not going to be how you want to start your presentation, or that's not the first impression that you're going to want to make on your judge. So make sure that you're punctual for everything, and it'll just help again with confidence. Practice your presentation the way that you're going to give it. So what I mean by that is practice in front of people, because when you actually go to give it, you're not going to be standing in the room by yourself. You're going to have to talk and kind of read how the judges are reacting to what you're saying, some things that you might need to explain a little more, or if they seem to be really understanding it, maybe you can skip through something that you were planning to explain. And don't practice starting and stopping based on what people are saying. You want to go straight through, because if you don't, you're practicing to stop, which means when you actually go to give that presentation or that role play, you're probably going to stop in those places that you stopped while you were practicing. And you don't want to do that, especially when you only have a certain amount of time to present your ideas. Also present with a timer. That way that you know exactly where you're supposed to be when you're saying this part, so you know how much time is left. Another big thing that's super simple is follow your normal routine. You know, if you're making such a big deal about what you're doing that day, it's going to be a bigger deal to you. You're going to stress yourself out before you even really have to, before you even get to your testing or your presentation or your role play. And that's, again, going to put you in a bad frame of mind to start with. So just follow your routine. If you don't normally eat breakfast, don't suddenly go and eat breakfast. Or if you wouldn't normally wake up really, really, really early and try to go through all this stuff, like if that's not your normal habit, don't try it. Just stick to what you normally do. It'll make the day feel much, much more relaxed for you. Studying your materials in whatever time that you have. You may not have a lot of time between like breakfast and when your role play starts or stuff like that, but study those performance indicators or anything that you might need to know any chance that you get, because those little that little bit of time will add up throughout the day, and you might just be able to remember more than you thought you would. And my last tip is just relax. You know, as long as you go in and you give your best effort, you know that there's nothing more that you could have done. So just breathe and relax, because the more relaxed you are, the more confident you're going to be, and the judges and everything are going to see that. So those are my tips.
Thank you so much, Riley. I just wanted to add on that on top of presenting to other people, you should also be presenting to your advisor or any business person who would be able to give you feedback on your presentation. They'll be able to tell you if you're going too fast in one point, or if you should elaborate more on one part of your business plan or role play or anything like that. Really great to get input from someone who knows what they're talking about. All right, next I'm going to pass it off to Tara Nath, who is the NARVP, as aforementioned, and was the PA DECA president last year. So she definitely knows what she's talking. She's going to be filling us in about the workshop that she is going to be hosting and the other workshops that are going to be available to you at State.
Thank you, Katya. So before I jump into workshops, I just kind of want to touch a little bit on what Kristen and Riley said. So one of the things is with the competition prep materials, if you don't know where to get those DECA images, is your place to be if your advisor doesn't have any. I mean, it's kind of getting down to the wire, but if you would order them now, they'd still come in plenty of time for you to get some study in. And then also the DECA Compete app, it is right on your phone. And you can just go through tests of all of the different clusters. And you could do that when you're like sitting in the car bored or anything. You can just go through and do those. So that's kind of studying at your fingertips whenever you have a free minute. So I definitely would suggest looking into that. And then also my favorite thing that Riley said was study throughout the day. Not necessarily because you're going to have this epiphany about everything that's going to be on that exam, but because it's going to put you in that right frame of mind. And if you're running around the lodge being crazy all day, I mean, that's super fun, but you aren't necessarily going to be in the mindset to compete. And we're all there to do well and to have fun and find that balance. So, Riley, I was super excited that you said that. Okay, so now on to what I'm actually supposed to talk about. So workshops. Workshops are one of my favorite parts of the conference because you're required to go to one. So you might as well get something out of it. We have tons of workshops there. Personally, I'm going to be running a workshop on impromptu speaking. So that's always something that I think is a really valuable skill to have, not just in DECA, but in life. You could be told to go and stand up in front of your board of directors at your company someday, and you just gotta wing it. And this workshop will help you get more comfortable, get you out of your comfort zone, and all of that stuff that you're going to need to be able to do sometime in your life, if not at the DECA conference. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that I see a bunch of you there. I'm pumped about this workshop, to be completely honest. So I really hope that a bunch of you show up. And then also, our executive president, Alec Romero, will be in attendance at our state conference. So that's super exciting. I'm personally excited that he'll be there. And he's going to be hosting a workshop on leadership. So everybody will be divided into teams, and I don't want to give too much away. You got to go for yourself to see what it's all about. But basically, it's going to be a really engaging workshop, and it's really going to broaden your perspective on the effectiveness of innovation and teamwork in a really competitive setting. So again, both of our workshops are really applicable to both DECA and to the real world. And there's a bunch of other workshops that are going to be offered throughout the conference, so I guarantee you'll find one that you like, and it's going to really just add to your repertoire of skills, and it'll just really just add that next step to your DECA experience at States. So I hope, personal plug, I hope to see you at mine. But if you don't come to mine, they're all going to be absolutely awesome. So that's all I have about workshops.
Great. Thank you so much, Tara. So as you all may know, we recently announced that we are going to be having a new program at our state conference this year. This program is called PA DECA Live. With this program, you'll be able to keep updated with all the happenings at PA DECA with behind-the-scenes videos, stories, and reporting from PA DECA. With this program, we are going to be broadcasting all of the general sessions. The opening session, the mini awards, and the closing session will be available for viewing on YouTube, so your parents will be able to come and watch you pick up your medal or your trophy at the state conference. Again, with this program, you'll be able to see all of the social media that you guys will be tweeting, any posts that you tag us in, any tweets, any Instagram pictures. They're all going to be presented in one local spot, so you'll be able to check out what everyone else is doing at the state conference. This program is powered by Microsoft and ClearPoint Business Group. So with this new program, we're also going to be requiring a social media team. So if you're interested in applying, this is what we're going to be doing. With the social media team, we're looking for students to create and drive conversation on social media for this year's SCDC. You're going to be posting on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook about what's going on at the state conference, and you're going to be able to produce behind-the-scenes video for the PA DECA Live program. This is a really cool way to get involved with the state conference. You'll be able to see what people are doing. You'll be able to get a little bit more of a sneak peek as to what the state officers are going to be doing. It's a really great program. You're going to be able to write blogs for our website, which is a pretty cool thing for you guys to be able to do. And you get recognition at the closing session, so that's pretty awesome. You get to be on stage multiple times throughout the conference, so it's great. Any PA DECA member who is going to the state conference is eligible to apply, but state officer candidates may not apply, and you have to have permission from your state advisor or to apply to this program. But other than that, we really hope that you all apply. Applications are due by midnight on February 19th, and the team members will be announced on February 21st. If you have any questions, feel free to check out our website. That's padeca.org. We have a whole separate tab dedicated to this program, and we'd like to see you all apply. I'd like to just thank our panelists one more time, Kristen Rhodes, Riley Collins, and Tara Nath. We are very excited to see you all at the state conference this year, which is quickly approaching. Be sure to get all of your stuff ready to go. Take these tips into consideration when preparing for states, and we'll see you guys on stage. Bye.